Today we will use the time to speak on the topic of developing my business correctly. I want to speak a little bit on myself so you can get to know me. I am from Bolivia, born in Puerto Suarez in the border with Brazil. I now live in Santa Cruz de la Sierra. On March 27, I will officially accomplish 1 whole year in the company. A whole year in the company, and at the same time I am going to accomplish 5 months as Platinum Diamond. At my 7 months of being at NBN Living, I've reached the Platinum Diamond level. A surprise for me. I was actually surprised when the managers called me and gave me the news. In November of last year, they said, "Silvestre, we have good news for you." And I was not expecting that. And I said, "Tell me." And they said, "You just qualified for the Platinum Diamond rank." And I had such a unique excitement. I was Premier Diamond, not even a Diamond Elite. I Premier Diamond. Premier Diamond is achieved with 300 active distributors, right? And it was at that moment where I really got excited. I expected to first reach Elite Diamond, which is 400 active distributors, and then go up to the Platinum Diamond with 500 active distributors. But things move faster than I thought. I will tell you how I got to Platinum Diamond. Many ask, "Silvestre, how did you reach Platinum Diamond? How is it achieved?" And there's a lot to talk about the Platinum Diamond rank, dear friends. It gives me a lot of joy seeing people from Brazil. Julie Marviera, happy birthday, my friend. Stay tuned on this Zoom, okay? He's a truly future Platinum Diamond, very determined. I met him in the Brazil Quantum Diamond. Alvaro and Francisco, welcome to my dear friends from Brazil. And obviously, I think also see Jackie Sosa. Welcome to my dear friends, because we know that NBN Living is now for the world. About 3 years ago, my dear friends, almost 3 years ago, NBN Living was only in 2 countries. 3 years ago, NBN Living was only in 2 countries, the United States and Mexico. In 3 years, and almost 4 by now, since Genoxidil was released, because Genoxidil is about to turn 4 years old, okay? 3 years ago, the company started to expand to 75 countries that is today. And if you are new to this company, I want to ask you, what does it tell you that in only 2 years, the company has expanded to 75 countries? Today we will speak on how to focus on your business the right way. Because I get asked, why, Silvestre, if I put in the effort and I do everything, I see no results? Because there's a big difference between being busy and being productive. There's a huge difference between being busy and being productive. You can be busy but watching videos on your phone. You recruit one person but give yourself a 3-hour break. All of this starts with the simple question. And I will always ask this question because it all starts from this idea. Do you respect the sacred hours of your business? Do you respect the sacred hours of your business the same way you respect the food you are served? The same way you respect your elders? Do you respect your business hours? How many hours do you dedicate to being productive, not busy? I'm not asking you how many hours are you going to warm up the seat at the NBN Living offices, or how many hours are you going to sit to drink a coffee to say you're going to work, but instead you distract yourself watching videos. We need to understand that the currency that is the most expensive in the 21st century is time. The time is the most expensive currency in the 21st century. At what price are you selling it for? Or at what price are you giving it away for? Dear friends, today I want to steer you into the path and tell you what you always need to do, and this is not going to change. To have results, you don't have to do something new, but do what needs to be done, but every single day. That is the big difference. That is the big difference. Today we'll speak on focusing on the business the right way. There were two lumberjacks. Do you know what a lumberjack is? There are those who go to the forest to get lumber, cut trees to get wood. And one day they decided to compete. They decided to have a competition. And then the competition starts. The competition was to see who can cut down a large and thick tree called sequoia. It is a large tree that grows very tall and thick. The person that knocked the tree down first would win. The lumberjacks began with their saws. They started to cut and cut and cut. Nevertheless, one of them, at some point, he would disappear. He would cut and then go into the cabin, and the other continued to cut. He would say, haha, he's going to rest and sleep, and would continue. Then the other man, who seemed like he was resting, he would come back and would keep cutting. And at the least expected moment, the man that would go in and out of the cabin, cutting and stopping, knocked down the tree. He knocked down his tree. And the other lumberjack was surprised and said, wow, impossible. I was the one cutting the whole time. I didn't rest. I didn't sleep. I didn't drink water. I was cutting and cutting the whole time. And the other would go in and out the cabin to rest. And he cut his tree before me. The tree was of the same width. The tools were the same. Everything was the same. And then the man, filled with pride and anger, approached the other lumberjack and said, hey, you would go in to sleep and I would continue sawing. It can't be that you won the competition. So the other man said with humility, I wouldn't go in to sleep. I would go in to sharpen my saw. And every time I will go into the cabin, I will go sharpen it. And every time I would come back to saw, my saw was sharper and would cut better. And that is where the question comes in. Busy or productive? Maybe you don't see someone that is every day at the office. Maybe you don't see someone that is taking selfies in front of 3,000 people. Or maybe you don't see someone that is always taking videos with their GoPro. But all of a sudden, that person, in a couple of months, becomes platinum diamond. Why? And then you ask, how come? If I was the one who was working, no, you were busy while that person was being productive. Pay attention to that story, because that is what we are going to speak about tonight. Are you busy like the first man who cut and cut and cut? Hey, you're going to get a hernia. You're going to get yourself tired because you are doing the business but not in the right way. But the other man would take the time that sometimes we don't like to take. Sometimes we don't like to sharpen the teeth of our tools. Do you take the time to sharpen every single one of your direct sponsies? Do you take the time to sit down with every single one of your direct sponsies? To personally sit down and not assume that your tool is sharpened, but to sit with every single one of your direct sponsies and verify, don't assume, verify that all your direct sponsies are doing the same than you. Because the duplication, dear friends, it starts from the idea of doing 3 steps. This is duplication. First, learn. You are doing the first step, and I congratulate you. Because on this Sunday, many would be scratching their bellies. Many would be walking with their friends. I don't know, drinking a beer. but you are all here training. And there is a Portuguese quote that I love. It says, if you train, you will improve. If you train, you will improve. You know what, dear friends? The first step in the duplication, write this down if you like, is to learn. And then, why do I learn? To save it on my back of knowledge? No, sir. I learn so I can teach. And here comes the second step of duplication. I teach. I hope that what you all learned today, you can duplicate it. Speak with your direct sponsors and tell them, yesterday I learned something from Silvestre Vargas and I want to show you. But doing one by one. I am going to kill your innocence today. And a mistake that most people in network marketing companies make, they think that this business in network marketing or in marketing, they tangle themselves. What does this mean? With many people, big crowds, and it is not like that. It is not like that. Supposedly, the power of duplication lets you go one by one, mouth to mouth. The power of mouth to mouth recommendation will always be more powerful than any other thing. That is why drug is not sold on TV. Because recommendation from mouth to mouth will always be more powerful. Because people who will really do the business do not sit to watch TV. So the first step of duplication is learning. The second step of duplication is teaching. Silvestre, I'm scared. The person who never does it will never get rid of the fear. And step number 3, show others how to teach. Maybe you think that right now you're doing it correctly, being the superhero leader, the mother hen to chicks. Who is that leader? Silvestre? Can you make my order? Of course, no worries. I am the superhero leader. I will do it for you. Boom, I do the order. Silvestre, could you close this prospect for me? Of course, no worries. I am the mother hen to my chicks. I will do it. You have no idea how damaging that is as a leader. As leaders, when you do the work for your people instead of teaching them. Because it is easier. Since it is easier to do it, since it is easier to just do it, they don't want to teach. Dear friends, we go back to the story. Sharpening the teeth of your tool. It takes time. And probably it's more tiring. But it is the only way for you guys to go faster and reach further. Sharpen the teeth of your sauce. Sharpen the teeth of your business. Take the time to make sure of 3 things. That your direct sponsors on your first level do what you do, say what you say, and understand what you understand. That is duplication. Making the information uniform. Because if you are already good, it is not enough to be good if your team doesn't do the same as you. And you know what, dear friends? In respect to the mother hen leader of the chicks, the superhero leader, the leader that is always, I will protect you, don't go anywhere. No, that is the worst thing you can do. Actually, I will say something to you in regards to that, and I will say it with fundamental. I always say it, and I will always say it because it is the pure truth, an absolute truth. Few of your direct sponsors are the ones that govern your finances. I am not a motivator. I am a teacher. And I am here to show you what you will do to receive residuals and leave off of residuals. Because if you do not want to do the NBN living business plan the right way, go on to sell tires, go to sell plates, go to sell paint, go to sell cars, go to sell houses, go to sell anything else. Go. and sell whatever you want, but do not dedicate yourself to NBN living. Because what makes network marketing different to traditional sales, what makes that traditional sales different from a networker are all the residuals. That is the big difference. If you are going to dedicate your whole life to selling, the day that you stop selling, you will stop bringing food to your table. But if you dedicate yourself to sharpening the teeth of your tools and to duplicate yourself, in summary, clone yourself, so that your direct sponsors speak the same language than you, that your sponsors mentor others like you do, that wherever you go, your whole team goes. It is hard to achieve this, Silvestre. Yes, it is hard. That is the truth. I have 48 direct sponsors. Out of the 48, I want to tell you something. Only 10 are seriously doing the business. Only 10. 10 of them earn more than $1,500 in a fortnight. 10 of them make sure they make the repurchases. But you know what, my dear friends? There are no shortcuts to reach success. Don't forget this. There are no shortcuts for success. Yes, the thing is, Silvestre, there's a company that promises me $5,000 without doing much. And I think it is easier than NBN living. Well, go on then. Leave. Try to take a shortcut. Go over there where they promise that you'll be a millionaire without doing anything. And you know what? That person is going to repeat their life. Because taking shortcuts and avoiding the process is to lose time. Never try to avoid the process. Because life will grab you by the ear and bring you to the beginning so you can go through the process. And watch out, because if you don't learn the lesson, you will go through the same process 3,000 times until you have learned your lesson. There are no shortcuts to success. That is why I'm not going to talk to you about how to sell a bottle of genoxidil, because you know how to do that already. You know how to do it. This bottle, I don't sell it. I either give it away or I take it. I don't sell it. You know why? Because if Miguel Molina, my sponsor, would have sold me this bottle, if he had found comfort in selling me this product, I wouldn't be Platinum Diamond and I wouldn't be here talking to you today. Either sell the whole business or don't sell it at all. But don't do things halfway, because when things are done halfway, they don't last. And to sell a single bottle of genoxidil to someone is to be selfish to your business. And so today we are going to talk about how to make a right structure. And the question, the $1 million question. How many direct sponsors, and I am not talking about whole structures. Pay attention to what I'm about to ask you. How many of your direct sponsors are here today on this mentoring program? Let me tell you something. Success in this business is not about how many products you can sell, but in how many leaders in your team you can connect to the system. And this is part of the system. Here is a great leader who I appreciate very much, Eusebio, and all the leaders from Ecuador and Latin America. They make a great effort to make these mentoring programs happen and always invite remarkable leaders so that we can learn how to get to this path. How many direct sponsors of your team are here today for this mentoring program? That is a reflection question. And I want to give you a little bit more alarming fact. Write this down. If you earn anywhere from $0 to $5,000 in a month, I'm not even talking in a fortnight. We know that NBN Living pays bi-weekly. But if you earn anywhere from $0 to $5,000 monthly, write this down. You should dedicate 90% of your time to recruiting new prospects. How does that sound to you? if you earn anywhere from $0 to $5,000, you should dedicate 90% of your time to recruiting new prospects. You want to know why? Because a leader with high income will never stop sponsoring his direct sponsees. But I make $3,000 and I think I am a coach. Then I create my Facebook page. I sit on my throne and I just wait for things to happen. Hey, earning $5,000 a month, I'd be worried. I'm sorry, but I'd be worried. I wouldn't be thinking about buying my dream house. $5,000 is not yet an indicator of economic self-sufficiency. So if you earn anything between $0 to $5,000, you should dedicate 90% of your time to recruit new direct connections, and 10% of your time focus it on depth. What does depth mean? To help your direct sponsees to also create new direct connections so that they can also achieve diamond, to work on depth. Laterally, my dear friend, gives you a stability. It is not the same to have a table with 2 or 3 legs than to have a table with 45 legs. Laterally gives you stability. How is your laterally, my dear friend? Oh, Silvestre, the thing is, I recruited 10, but only 2 of them are active. Congratulations, I hope those 2 also leave you. So you learn not to stay in your comfort zone, but instead keep recruiting direct sponsees. Because you cannot settle with only 10. Ask Lourdes Sevilla, one of the top NBN living earners in the world, how many direct sponsors he has. I can bet you he probably has 200. That man, at least, already recruited all the pilots. He's someone worthy of admiration. Those are the kind of examples I use. Martha Franco, she has a very powerful structure. She will never earn less than $20,000 in a fortnight. Never. So, how's your laterality? Let's move on to the next point. Keep writing. If you earn between $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you should dedicate 70% of your time to sponsor new direct connections. What do you think about this thermometer? If you earn between $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you should dedicate 70% of your time to sponsor new direct sponsees, and the other 30% to work on depth. And I can guess what happened to you. You recruited 5, and you held on to one of them that you really liked, and you became the mother hen to chick leader, and you focused on depth and forgot that this plan only pays you until your 5th level. You forgot that this plan only pays you up to your 5th level. So you only worked on depth. So you held on to a direct sponsee and you put in depth like an oil drill. And you went all the way in. And you know what? You forgot about your laterality. Let me repeat myself. If you earn between $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you should dedicate 70% of your time to sponsor new direct sponsees. Write it down. Let's keep going. If you are earning between $10,000 to $25,000 a month, write it down. If you're earning between $10,000 to $25,000 a month, and here's a message for the platinum diamonds. I hope that there isn't a platinum diamond who has sat on their throne and has stayed in their comfort zone, because this is a message for the platinum diamonds. If you, my dear platinum diamond, are earning between $10,000 to $25,000 a month, you should still dedicate 50% of your time recruiting new direct sponsees. If you decide to work 6 hours a day, 3 of those hours should be focused on recruiting new direct sponsees. and make you laterally stronger because we get paid up to the 5th level, but horizontally we do not have any limits. Do you want to have a solid structure? Then focus on laterality. Laterality gives you stability. Depth in your structure gives you money. It is very important that you understand this, but when you earn between $10,000 to $25,000 a month, then you can give yourself the luxury to give 50% of your time to a sponsor and the other 50% of your time to support your new direct sponsors. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to make a pause because we're still going. I'm going to tell you something, dear leader. Do you want to help your team? Don't do their work for them. A leader gives better support with great results instead of doing their work for their team. Do you want to help your team? Show them how to do it. Because when the leader walks, the team dies. When the leader runs, the team walks. And when a leader flies, the team runs. A leader should never stop flying. A leader always needs to be the best. A leader must never stop. A leader must always keep growing. Because it is your results that will inspire and move your team. So stop being the mother hen to the chick kind of leader. Stop being the superhero leader that always thinks of doing the work for his team. And start working more on yourselves. Because if you don't have the results, your team will die. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. And now, if one day, that I wish it happens, you get to make in between $25,000 to $50,000 a month, then you can start talking about the possibility of financial freedom. And I am not exaggerating. The leaders with experience in network marketing companies know that financial freedom just starts when you are making $150,000 a month. Financial freedom will start when you generate more than $150,000 a month. So don't talk about financial freedom if you haven't reached that number yet. We still have a long way to go. So my dear leader, if you earn between $25,000 to $50,000 a month, you should be focusing 40% of your time to recruiting new direct sponsors. What do you think? What do you think? 40% of your time to recruiting new direct sponsors. And I hope this makes you realize. And I am going to tell you an experience, hoping that on this Zoom it is also connected. Our great leader, Alfonso Aranda. I remember one time when we uploaded a photo to a group where all the active diamonds of the world are. A picture from an event where I took a selfie. I took a selfie behind a lot of people. And we uploaded to a group of active diamonds. And with Alfonso's permission, I am going to tell you this story. Alfonso Aranda is a platinum diamond. Actually, he is the record platinum diamond. It is not me. I made it in 7 months. Alfonso Aranda made it in 3 months. He has the record. It is always good to have someone to follow. And when I sent the picture to the WhatsApp group, Alfonso did something very interesting. He right away sent me a private message. He congratulated me and immediately wrote something that changed my life. Until today, I am not exaggerating. You want to know what he wrote me? He wrote, "Congratulations, Silvestre, very well and everything. But out of all the people that are there, how many of them are your sponsors?" He left me speechless. He left me speechless. I didn't know what to reply. Actually, I didn't know if I should laugh or cry. When he said, "Silvestre, congratulations," and all of that, But out of all of those people, how many are your sponsees? I was a consolidated diamond, and that got all the way to my heart. It hurt my bone. It hurt my ego. I didn't know what to reply, and you know what? He right away, he won me over and wrote me again something else. That is why you are not a platinum diamond. What do you think? And some of you get upset when someone calls you like that. With no remorse, Alfonso Aranda said it to me. When he knew that from all the people from an event, not even one was an sponsee of mine. He already knew that. I took a long time to reply, but he told me that is the reason why you are not a platinum diamond. I remember that night, I felt uncomfortable, I felt bad, I felt sad. It got me to thinking a lot. I could have got offended because I could have chose that. I choose to get offended. At that moment, I decided not to get offended. I decided to appreciate that advice from a platinum diamond who's my sponsor. And right away, I did all the changes, so that from there and after, in every event, I would take, Silvestre Vargas, would take a new sponsee. There, everything changed. And you know what? 3 months after that message from Alfonso Aranda, I became platinum diamond. He took me out of my comfort zone. He scolded me and showed me that I wasn't doing things the right way. Today, my last sponsee is right here connected. I recruited him yesterday, my new sponsee. And until 1 hour ago, he has already recruited 3 people. 3 sponsees. He knows he has to close diamond. He knows he needs to be a diamond before the 16th, because until the 16th is when the promotion is. But the day he achieves his goal, I will ask him to please do the same thing that I did with him to his new 5 direct sponsees. Because if you want to live out of residuals, there is no other way than to help your sponsees to do what you did when you started. Do you understand me? Don't forget, sharpen the teeth of your tools. Get out of your comfort zone. And I am going to tell you what Alfonso Aranda one day told me, and it hurt me, but it was the truth. Maybe that is the reason why you're not a platinum diamond yet. Because there's still a lot that we need to get done. And we have stayed in our comfort zone, and now I want to talk to you, consolidated diamonds, to you, premier diamonds, to you, elite diamonds, and even to you, ratified diamonds that have stayed there. You have the obligation to be a platinum diamond this year. Because I am going to say something that might hurt you. If you don't achieve platinum diamond this year, you won't make it ever. If you don't achieve platinum diamond this year, you won't make it ever. Stop procrastinating your success. Stop postponing and start saying today is the day. There is danger in the saying someday, when it really means today is not the day. The capacity to postpone not only relaxes you and makes your muscles sleepy, but also postpones the blessings. It postpones your well-being. It postpones the life you deserve. And you know what? That is not what your children deserve. Your children will not be comfortable with less of what you can give in this business. Then, my dear friends, once again, only some direct sponsors govern over your finances. Only some direct sponsors govern over your finances. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There is nothing more dangerous in multi-level than to depend on your direct sponsors. Write this down, even if it has to hurt. There's nothing more dangerous in network marketing and in this business than to depend on your direct sponsors. But there's something worse than that. And that is that your direct sponsors know that you depend on them. That is a crime. That's an own goal. When your direct sponsors discover that you depend on them. And that is when you start to fight with your direct sponsors. That is when you start to criticize your direct sponsors. And that is when you even get to condemn your direct sponsors. When they don't get activated, they're kicking your pocket. That is how it is. And it hurts, but that is the only way for you to step out of your comfort zone. And it has to hurt you. And when they don't get activated, when they don't activate their business, when they don't make the repurchases, that hurts you very much. And you know what? There's nothing more dangerous than to depend on your direct sponsors. Now, let's talk about the opposite. Many direct sponsors who govern over your finances. You know what you can do with many direct sponsors? Make a lot of money to start. Second, you can travel whatever you want. I am very grateful and thankful to God because a couple of days ago, I received a call from engineer Oscar Hernandez inviting me to be part of the tour in Nigeria. So it's going to be a pleasure for me to go there. And I hope I can help as many people as possible. I speak English. And when I was little, I didn't want to learn English. I didn't like it. I would skip class. Today, looking back, I understand how worth it was to learn English. Because probably due to that, I am going. And you know what excites me about Africa? Not only that I'm going to the poorest country in Africa, Nigeria. It excites me to know that we can help in the teaching of how to fish to our African siblings. And that very soon, Africa improves its economy because the work that they develop will allow the money to stay within Africa. And that is a big blessing. And if I can be part, even if it's only 0.05% of the progress that Africa could have in the evolution of the future, people with financial freedom in Africa, I feel so thankful to God for allowing me to be in Africa, to help my friends. There's already 150 African siblings confirmed as diamond. Watch out, 150 confirmed diamonds for the quantum leadership in Nigeria, Africa. I am so excited to get there and hug them and to tell them you can do it. And Africa can be number one in NBN living if we don't increase our speed. I am sure that they will accomplish it. And they deserve it. They deserve it. My African siblings deserve that and much more. I feel so blessed to be part, even if it is only 0.2% of the progress and success that Africa will have. My dear friends, don't let your business to be built on top of sand. Don't let your business to be built under a plastic platinum diamond rank. A platinum rank made out of plastic. Don't let it happen. Don't let it be a fake platinum diamond. Don't lie to yourself. Nowhere on the business plan of NBN living, it's their bonus for direct sales as a way to earn money. And you know what? And I'll say it in a responsible way. Neither the engineer or Oscar Hernandez or Mrs. Patricia participate, not even in 1% of what is generated by NBN living. What do you think? You know why? Because they earn from Herbalife and C Pharma. When they created this business plan, and came up with the idea of this company, they never did it with the purpose of becoming rich. And you know why? Because they were already rich. That is the big difference. When God gives you an opportunity to do things better in your life, you're willing and finally understand that the only purpose you have in life and the only thing you're going to take from this life, the only thing you're going to take from this life to heaven are two things. Things you did and your knowledge. The good work you have done and your knowledge. And engineer Oscar understands this perfectly, which is why he designed a generous business plan. That is why he designed a business plan thinking in your heart. There's no other company that pays you 77% in direct sponsorship bonuses. Are you in debt? Are you struggling for money? Achieve a mega turbo. Recruit 5 people. How? By talking. This product doesn't have legs or mouths. This product doesn't have legs or mouths to sell itself, which is why you get paid. You don't pay you because you have a pretty face or because you talk nice. They don't pay you because you wear a suit. They pay you based on results, and life is all about results. So in a year, if you want, because if you believe you can do it, you're right. And if you believe you can't do it, you're also right. But if you want it and you work for it and you wish for it with all your strength, I promise you that not even the universe will be able to resist from your wish. And the time will come when God and the universe will together tell you, your wish is our command. Maybe you haven't showed God or the universe that you really want it. Because you don't wake up early, because you don't prospect, because you don't talk, and because you reach ratified diamond and you stop doing the basic. You stop recruiting and sponsoring direct sponsors when you understand that the issue of your network are solved with new people. The issues of your network, the issues of your business will be solved by recruiting. And when I started this business, my dear friends, a lot of times my family confronted me about time. And you don't know how hard it was for me. When they confronted me about time, I would get home at 11 p.m. and I would arrive with a call on the phone. I would open the door, I would look at my wife from afar, and I would wave to her. And I would go directly to the living room. I wouldn't be able to say hi to her properly. And I would stay here at this place where I am right now, closing new associates from other countries until 2 a.m. To Luis Rocha, who is one of my direct sponsors, Luis Carlos Rocha, who already gives the Zooms worldwide, I closed them at 4 a.m. At 4 a.m. So, my dear friends, the day you understand that your earnings will be conditioned to the quantity of hours that you give your business is when your financial freedom will start to come into your life. But don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to the universe. If you're now willing to pay the price and dedicate to be productive, not busy, they don't pay you to take pictures with a GoPro. They don't pay you by being behind a crowd of people. They don't pay you for jumping while screaming, I am platinum diamond. They pay you to close people. They pay you to close people. So let's start to recruit new direct sponsors. Maybe you weren't expecting this on this mentoring, but people, as it is said on the Bible, go back to your first love. All of you advanced quantum ratified diamonds that got stuck there. You know why you got stuck there? Because you stopped doing what you used to do when you started the business. Because you stopped doing the basic. And start to try and discover fireworks when fireworks had already been created. You stopped doing the basic. And you know what, my friends? Success is not in the technique. It is on the repetition. That is why it doesn't matter if you're bad at talking. It doesn't matter if you don't have talent. It doesn't matter. if you don't have many skills that you wish you had and you admire on others, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you work one day and the next one as well. That will determine how successful you can be. Consistency, my friends, is what will determine how far you can get. And when you teach that to your team, and when you teach that you are the first one that must be recruiting new sponsors to be an example for them and to have the criteria. Because you know what, my dear leaders? A leader doesn't demand something from his team that he hasn't taught them. A leader doesn't demand something from his team that he hasn't taught them. And a leader will never ask his team to guess. Because if you don't teach them and then you demand it from them, then you're asking them to guess. My dear friends, start to do the basic. And to the ones that started a long time ago but got stuck, start to do it again. What you did when you started this business. Go back to the basic and stop flirting with other companies that the only thing that they will do is to turn you a hippie of network marketing. You are going to be 50, 60 years old and you will not have anything built in your life. Stop it and close your heart with a key. Close your heart with a key to other companies. And close your heart with a key and start to work more on yourselves. Because maybe you work very well in the networks, but not enough on yourself. My dear friends, I am going to finish with this. A story that has marked me in my life. I don't come here to preach, but I like to apply the knowledge that the best leader and the best duplicator in the world, Jesus Christ, taught when he was here. There was a good man. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect, but he was good. And at the end, you will ask, why was he good? Maybe he didn't have talent like you, but he was good. And I am going to show you why. This good man went out one day to sow. Part of his seeds, by mistake, due to inexperience, for being a rookie, maybe like all of you, part of his seeds fell on the path. And what happened? The birds came. The birds stealers of dreams. The birds that don't like to see you well, because people like to see you well but never better than them. Remember this, people like to see you well but never better than them. So the birds came, stealers of dreams, and ate the seeds. And with all due respect, those birds that want to avoid the process, those birds that don't understand that money isn't easy to earn, and that if you don't pay the price right now, you will pay it later, but at a higher price. I'd rather pay it for it right now and enjoy tomorrow. That is why I'm in the right business. But nowhere on this story is it said that the sower stopped to start throwing rocks at the birds. He never stopped to throw rocks at the birds. However, he kept going. And part of his seeds fell between the rocks. It surprises me. And when I learned this story, I got to love this good man, this good sower. And when you understand the heart of this good sower, you will get to love this story like I do. And this man let some of the seeds fell between the rocks. Part of the seeds grew roots, but since there were rocks, they didn't grow roots deep enough. And when the sun came, the son of fear, the son of terror, the son of the what will people say, dried the plant. Since it didn't have deep roots of beliefs it burned and it died. This sun that many times fills you with uncertainty and that takes away your faith. I'm going to tell you something, dear friends. If you are new in this business, don't make comments about your great plans of abundance to poor minds. Don't tell your dreams to small minds. Do not give pearls to the pigs, because they will not understand it, they will not assimilate it, and they will not use it the right way. Stop looking for approval from your people. Stop looking for approval from your family. It is enough to have God's approval to keep going. And because the ones that didn't believe in you in the beginning will end up cheering you if you don't give up. The ones that didn't believe always end up cheering those who did believe. This man kept walking, and part of his seeds fell between thorns. The seeds grew root, the plant grew, the seed germinated, but what happened? It was drowned by the thorns from the bad friendships, drowned by the thorns from those people that are always falling in love with new opportunities. If this sounds familiar, it is time to take some changes. Thorns are those friends that are always falling in love with new opportunities. A new company appears, oh, there I go. A new company is born, oh, I am in love. It is a new company. And they like to start over, which is why they are failures. Because they are good starters. They love to start over, but never to build something. Fear drowns them. They stop doing the basic, as I explained on this mentoring program. They stop recruiting, they stop capacitating, and the thorns drown the plant that was soft. And there are also the responsible sponsors. The ones that recruit new sponsors and abandon them. The ones that don't teach their sponsors, they leave them to guess, abandon them. They demand what they haven't taught them. Sadly, these poor plants try to grow, but since they don't have that initial support of a good sponsor, they die. But the sower, the good man, he kept going his way. And he kept sowing. And part of the seeds fell in good land and grew hundreds of thousands. Do you see that the sower wasn't an expert? Do you see that the sower wasn't perfect? Do you see that the sower was just like you? Do you see that the sower never stopped to throw rocks at the birds that kept stealing his seeds? Do you know why? Because the sower had faith and had a strong belief that one day, listen carefully, one day the sower was going to sow so many seeds that there wasn't going to be enough birds to steal his seeds. And if you want to be successful in your business, don't waste your time throwing rocks at the birds, and start to sow more seeds until there isn't enough birds to steal your seeds. And then the change is going to happen. And then is when you become a platinum diamond. And then is where you understand that the rank is not to show off, but instead to serve. When you understand that the perfume of the big leaders is called humility, and that after the verb love, the second most important verb is called to serve. Do you see that only 20% of the seeds of this good man, humble sower, fell in good land? Now I'm going to finish up with this. Dedicate. Pay attention and write this down. Dedicate 80% of your time to that 20% of your network that produces the 80% of your earnings. Write it down. Dedicate 80% of your time to that 20% of your direct sponsors, of your leaders that make 80% of your earnings. Stop overworking. Stop wasting energy. And that 80% that only tires you out, that only drains your energy, that makes you lose your patience, that only generates 20% of your earnings, and stop neglecting the ones that are indeed doing the business. Oh, but there are weak lines. No, sir. If you dedicate yourself to your weak direct sponsors that don't want to work, you will lose the weak ones and the strong ones, and you are going to be left with nothing. And starting now, pay attention to those leaders that, thank God, are still working with you, and that belong to the 20% group that make 80% of your earnings. And start giving 80% of your time to them, because they are the ones that are in need of your attention. They are the ones that are always at the trainings. They are the ones that are always jumping and saying, hey, here I am, help me. I am working. I want to succeed. But you are focusing your time on those that don't want to do anything because you want them to be leaders when they themselves don't even want to be leaders. My dear friends, to duplicate, you need to learn. You need to teach. And you need to teach how to teach. Duplication is when your direct sponsors do what you do, know what you know, and say what you say. Oh, but that will take time. Yes, but that is the only way. There is no other way. Recruit new direct sponsors and educate them. Don't motivate them, because motivation is like the fire from a match. It goes away fast. More importantly than to motivate your team is to educate them, because education is like the fire from the sun. It is always there. My dear friends, that is the real focus of this business. Don't ever stop recruiting new direct sponsors. And please, teach with example. Do you want to be a real leader? Show results, because the only way to inspire and to motivate your team is by showing results. My dear friends, it has been a blessing being able to be here. Believe me that I have prayed. I believe in God. He's my friend. He's my partner. He brought me here. When in this same living room I was crying because I only had 1 Bolivian peso in my pocket. 1 peso. 1 peso is $1 divided by 7. I didn't have anything from what I have today. I don't even know how I reached platinum diamond in 7 months. But today I am able to buy any kind of food that I want for my children when I want. I can buy shoes for my children whenever I want. And when they need it too. And I thank God so much, because it is God who made it possible for this company to get to me. And I don't think about losing this opportunity. And I want to honor this company and be at the level of this company. And I want my prospection to be at the level of this business. That we're all at the level of this business, because the car is already good. Maybe it is us that need a little bit more to be the drivers that are at the level of the vehicle. Thank you, dear Eusebio, for the opportunity to be part of this mentoring program. My real intention is for each one of you to understand how to do the business the right way. And starting from now on, we all get the results we want. Let it be 1,000 platinum diamonds. Let it be 2,000 platinum diamonds. That people improve their health. That people improve their finances. That one day stand on the stage and say, I was also in a bad place, but I made a decision and I worked, and God blessed my seed, and it bore fruit to hundreds and thousands. Because even though my seed fell on the road, even though many of my seeds were stolen by birds, even though many of my seeds drowned by bad friendships, the fear, I never did I stop sowing new seeds. Never did I stop sowing new seeds. I kept sowing because I knew that one day some seed would bear fruit to hundreds and thousands, my dear friends. All the issues will be solved if you never stop sowing. And that is what I invite you to always sow with happiness. And never let the seeds stop falling to the ground. Even if there are birds that come to take them, it doesn't matter, because a yes will give me earnings, but a no builds my character. Whether they tell me yes or no, I will either way win. Either way, I will win. Thank you, my dear friends. May God bless you, so that starting today, you are determined to do things in a different way. Go back to the basics. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, as said by Leonardo da Vinci. Don't stop doing the basic. Be determined to do the things simply and easy, but every single day, please, because the stomach doesn't stop. May God bless you, my friends. I'm just reading some messages, but thank you very much. Really, thank you. Thank you from my heart. Thank God who gives us life, and God who brought me to this amazing company where today I am trying water after having touched the bottom and after having walked on the desert for a long time. And for Him, I am grateful.